Since the last AI use case that we spoke about, creating that business communication, was a bit generic and kind of applicable to virtually any business professional, I did want to give one example that's maybe a bit more applicable to somebody who's in the accounting or finance field. So what you'll see here is I've got just this fictitious made up financial data, and full disclosure, I actually used AI to have this generated. But what we have is monthly data going back from 2022, it looks like through the end of 2024, and just very high level data. So for each month, we have what the revenue was, cost of goods sold, operating expenses, and ultimately net income. Now, what we can do is use an AI tool to help us with budgeting and forecasting. And obviously, if we didn't want to do that, there's a lot of tools in Excel that we could use to maybe try to do that on our own. But let's say that we were really in a pinch and we want to leverage AI to help speed this process up. And what we're looking to do is figure out, based on our historical data and historical trends, what is revenue likely to look like in the first month of 2025, so January of 2025. What we can do is actually upload this spreadsheet into an AI tool and ask it to help us out with that forecasting. Now, quick word of warning here. If this is data that your company deems to be extremely sensitive, proceed with caution and make sure that you get the right approvals before you actually upload this into a tool. At the very least, you're going to want to make sure that it's a company approved tool, but even then, management might be a little bit leery to give data that's super sensitive or super mission critical. But assuming that we actually have the right approvals in place, here's what we would do. So I'm just going to X out of here to avoid any issues, and we'll save it. And if we go into ChatGPT in this case, you'll see that we've got some tools towards the bottom here. And if I click this little plus, I'm actually able to upload a file. So I'm going to click Add Files. And I'm going to go to that fictitious financial data. And again, I want to give the AI agent some context as far as what it's looking at. So attached, you'll see financial data across the last 3 years of our business. Based on the historical data and trends, please estimate what revenue will be for January 2025. And I'll click pause while I let the AI system run its analysis. So unfortunately, like most things in life, ChatGPT is far from bulletproof. So we're going to move this party over to Gemini. And if I click over here, you'll see that I just gave it the exact same prompt. And what it's going to do is show me how it went through its thinking process. So it gives us our historical data for January of 2022, 23, and 24. And based on those numbers and some additional analysis, it's giving us an estimate of revenue being $525,000 into January of 2025. Now again, this is a starting point for us. So maybe if we're releasing a new product or there's something going on with the economy, we might need to course correct these figures, but again, it at least takes some of that heavy lifting off of our plate. So even if this is a process that maybe used to take us 5 or 6 hours to complete, maybe now we're down to 1 or 2. And that's just one example of the value that AI can bring to businesses.